Hello, good morning, teacher.
Hey, good morning. Give me just a second. I'm also trying to call the other students. So, you are Maria, right?
Yeah, teacher. I am
Okay,
with you.
Maria.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna share my screen, and we'll start with this lesson. Okay. So, all right. So as you know, today's lesson is about writing. This is the first week, and this is actually a new section that we have for the OLC. The OLC is just the online language community. And we incorporated this new section because we want to enhance the scores that people were having in the Septo exam. However, I'm not only applying this lesson for the Septo exam, I'm also applying it so that you guys and you, Maria, have a better time writing and whatever task you have in this university. All right, so let's start with this presentation.
Okay, teacher.
Doesn't want to. Okay, right. So the way we're gonna work this section of writing is by topics. So it's gonna be 10 weeks. This is the first week. And today's topic is about life skills. So the way I like to start this is by defining what are what are skills or what is life skills. So Maria, what are skills for you?
Mm, Okay, I think that for me, skills are like mm, things that we can that the person can do, like abilities or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The abilities that we have or that we need for do something.
Yeah, that's very good. It's abilities, and how do we use them? Well, we use them to do something. Okay, give me just 1 second because I heard someone is writing. Oh, not here. No. How about here? Ah, it's Alejandro. Hey, Alejandro. How's it going? Okay, so let's continue. So yeah, skills in general, um, they are abilities, and they they are a tool for us to do something. Now, normally, the way we find about the meaning of something is by following the tail. So let's look at this example. Here we have the example of life skills.
Hi,
And
Maria. Hi, teacher.
hey,
Sorry
hey,
for my
how's it
late.
going? Don't worry, you're not really late. Alejandro, right?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay. So, as I was saying, life skills. Normally, in these types of sentences or phrases, we have two words, life and skills. The second word is what's going to have the most information for us. So, Maria said that skills are abilities, and those abilities help us to do something. That's perfect. Now, Alejandro, I want to ask you, what are life skills?
Well, I think my skills. about teach English or mm, I don't know.
That's fine, don't worry. Okay, so
My
how
abilities. Mm,
sometimes we have these types of confusion, but following the rule I just told you guys, it's gonna be easier to find out what is that about. So here we're talking about life skills. Skills are abilities to do something, and then we have the word life. So it's supposedly that abilities to do something in what? In life. So Maria, can you give me an example of a life skill? An ability to do something in life?
I think that maybe to cook, yeah, is
Mhm.
a skill that is for the life.
Yeah, very well. That's a very good example. So anything that's gonna help us survive, it's a life skill. I don't know, for example, making nuts, um, knowing how to cook, driving, that's gonna ease our life. So that is life skills. And as I was saying, every week we're gonna have a very specific topic for writing. Uh, Alejandra, I'm gonna please ask you to close your microphone to mute yourself. And
okay.
if I ask you to answer something, then you're gonna open the microphone. Thank you. All right. So life skills. Now, what is today's agenda? This is how we're gonna follow the path of this lesson. First, we're gonna find about the importance of the paragraph. Then we're gonna talk about how do we find inspiration to write. And then we're gonna have some discussion on what not to do when writing. Then we're gonna have some discussion on what to do when we write. And finally, we're gonna have a little bit of practice of everything we just said before this. And that's gonna be to write an introductory paragraph on the topic of life skills. Alright, so let's start with the importance of the paragraph. And for this, I like to use the book of Hanens, which is about Schopenhauer. I find that book to be excellent, and the quality of writing is very good. So I have it right here. An academic. Oh, we'll see. First week. Alright. Give me just 1 second, guys, because I lost the file. I'm sorry. 1 second. I'll be back. Okay, I found it. Needed to type the name. Alright, so I'm gonna be back with the screen. Your screen. Alright. Maria, can you tell me if you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher,
teacher.
I can.
Great, thank you. Alright, so this is a very good example of how we should write. Now, as we're talking about the paragraph, I want you to take a look on each paragraph and how it's different from each other. So I'm gonna enable this. I'm gonna make some annotations here. So I can show you how to start a paragraph and how to finalize a paragraph. Oh yeah, it's in comment. So, how do we know this is a paragraph? Well, first, we know that it starts with a capital word, letter, and in this case is this. And finally, right here, where it says deserves, it ends with a full stop. So every paragraph is gonna start with a capital letter, and it's gonna end with a full stop. Let me see if I can show it here. Yeah, here starts with a capital letter and it ends with a full stop. All right. Now, in an academic level, we also start paragraphs with an indentation. What is an indentation? If you imagine a line right here, then there's a hole here. And look, there's another one right here. Those holes are called indentations. And that's another way we can see that that is a paragraph. All right. Now, the paragraph is not only the most important thing when we write. Notice how each paragraph is a group of sentences. For example, here we have a sentence. It ends with the full stop. There's a sentence, and it says, "This book is an introduction to the philosophy of Arthur Schopenhauer, comma, written in a personal style." Oh, here's the first full stop, I'm sorry. This is the first sentence. Then, I have another sentence right here. It says, "I am to connect Schopenhauer's ideas with ongoing debates in philosophy, and to invite readers to tackle Schopenhauer's work on their own." Second sentence there. Now let's find the third sentence. Another aim is to increase general appreciation of Schopenhauer's subliminal influence on other much-studied thinkers. And here we have another sentence. For example, "I see many scholars nowadays working on Weinstein." There's our fourth. And finally, we have this one. While these scholars may be dimly aware that Schopenhauer was an influence on the subject, most of them seem never to have actually read Schopenhauer. And finally, that was not the last one. This is the last one. Schopenhauer is also influentially appreciated as one of the fathers of psychoanalysis and existentialism. To some extent, I would like to remedy this situation and get Schopenhauer more of the credit he deserves. So what can we say about this paragraph? It's an introductory paragraph. Thereby, he's talking about his goals in these books. He was talking about some criticisms that some scholars have on Schopenhauer's, like many scholars don't even read Schopenhauer and they read about him from other books. So it's just a group of sentences. Some sentences are very complex in the sense that they use multiple subjects, and some of them even use commas. Whenever we have a comma, we call that a complex sentence, because there's two subjects and one idea, and those two subjects have to relate to that one idea. All right, so that's what I meant by the paragraph. Now, how do we make that indentation? That's something we should start working on. So on your keyboard, let me draw a keyboard here. Imagine this is the space bar, and here's enter. So right here, there's a tab called Shift, and it looks like this. It's an arrow and another arrow looking in the opposite directions. This is called Shift. And when you guys write, every time you start a new paragraph, you should start by pressing Shift. What's that gonna do is that's gonna let you do an indentation, and that's gonna show us that you're starting a paragraph. Alright, so let's continue with our presentation. That was the paragraph. Alright, now how do we find inspiration? So, in order to be good writers, we need to be good readers. And if you guys really want to improve your writing, you need to read a lot. My suggestion is to pick a book. Normally, I suggest reading Harry Potter, and that's the first book, The Sorcerer's Stone. That's an easy book to start reading literature in English. I don't suggest reading academical literature to find inspiration. Not only you're gonna get a lot of vocabulary by reading literature, but you're gonna also learn how to use punctuation. So in the case of writing, grammar is not as important as punctuation, because when we write, we're dealing with styles, and you might develop your own style of writing, and so reading is gonna help you tremendously. So remember, if this is the first time you're gonna read a book, start by reading Harry Potter. It's very easy to find. You're gonna find it for free on the internet, and it's gonna help you to write. Now, according to this topic, as we're talking about life skills, I also have this link, and let me see if I can copy it. No. And it's about life skills. So we're gonna read a little bit about life skills. Remember, our final goal is to write an introductory paragraph on the topic of life skills. Okay, I have my website loading, and I got it. I'm gonna make a little bit of zoom that you guys can see. Alright, so this is the reading that we have to inspire us on writing about life skills. Now, I'm gonna read it. Nowadays, some schools are teaching life skills as well as traditional subjects. Some people say this prepares students better for life in the real world, whereas others say it is not necessary. So what can we find about this paragraph? First is that it starts with nowadays, and then
Currently.
we also find that there are only two sentences. So it's a very basic paragraph. As an advice, you wouldn't want to have a paragraph that's only one sentence. Never do that. And we're gonna see that with an example of one student that I have. If you want to make a short paragraph, do it at least two. Let me see if I can make an annotation right here. Alright, no, but that's not a problem. I can use the laser. So, where is the first paragraph? Nowadays, some schools are teaching the life skills as well as traditional subjects. There is our first sentence. Then we have our second sentence that starts right here and ends right here. Some people say this prepares students better for life in the real world, whereas others say it is not necessary. Now, our second paragraph is not an introduction. Now we're gonna talk about the real subject. In this case, this writer is talking about his opinion. So he starts like this. In my opinion, comma, school should prepare students for adult life. Financial skills such as budget planning and saving money are essential to avoid falling into debt. Here's our second sentence. It will also be a good idea to learn basic cooking, as this is fundamental for survival when you are living on your own. Now notice how there are some words highlighted. This what was noticed by Alejandro. Very good. So here starts with my opinion. Then we have such as, and notice how he uses essential. Another advice that I have for you guys, is stop using the word important or very important. Whenever you use something is very important, this is very important, you're gonna come off as someone who does speak English. Yes, you speak English, but it's possible that you don't have a very high level. So whenever you start changing important for words like essential, crucial, you're gonna come off as someone who has a higher level in English. Alright, here's our third paragraph. On the other hand, now this is telling us that he's gonna contradict the second paragraph. On the other hand, some people argue that there is no time for extra subjects at school, and that life skills should be learned at home. Personally, I think we already learn many life skills while doing traditional subjects. For example, we learn team working by doing group projects and organizing our homework. Our homework teaches time management skills. And finally, we have our final paragraph. To sum up, I believe all schools should teach life skills. It will not require too much extra work because there is no need to teach them separately from conventional subjects. This will make sure that students leave school better prepared for university and work. Notice how this final paragraph is just a summary. And how he's telling that is with this phrase. He's saying to sum up. You can also say finally, lastly, in summary. That's gonna show us that you're ending your text. Alright, so Alejandro, please tell me what was this text about in general.
General, well, the text tell about school prepare the students in your adult life. After they are developed their opinion about something people think that school should prepare a student for their life. Some people argue that it's not time to extra subjects, specific life skills. So, and finally, the personal thing about the author say that conclude that the school should teach life skills and for better prepared for university and work. It's the structure for writing in the text.
There you got it. Very well. That was an excellent attempt. You actually got it very, very, very well. So let me summarize that. So the author, yeah, he's talking about life skills. That's true, but that is the general scope of the topic. as Alejandro said, he's centering this topic of life skills to schools, to whether it is good to teach the topic of life skills in schools, or if it's better to learn it at home. So that's the basic idea. He carries this topic. I'm sorry. Okay, so he carries this topic basically on these two paragraphs. In my opinion, schools should prepare for students. That's his first opinion. And then on the other hand, some people argue that people should learn life skills at home. This is his topic, and he's incorporated into the topic, to the big topic of life skills. That is a very good example of the topic of life skills and how we should consider to write. Now let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so remember, read as much as you can. You want to be a good writer? Be a good reader. Now, what not to do? Here, I have taken this example from one student. He wrote this for the course of Pedagogical Experience 1. And he's talking about why is grammar not important. And this is how he starts his writing. I'm gonna read it for you. Through this project will be shown how important is the grammar when learning a second language. It does not matter our English level. Sometimes the student, even with a C1 English level, make mistakes in grammar. Knowledge of grammar helps the students in the correction of mistakes and improvement of written documents. Okay, Maria. So I want you to tell me what do you see here that's wrong in this introductory paragraph?
Okay, I think that the first mistake that I see there is in the first part. He is saying like he will be show how important is the grammar, and the idea is show for why no is not important the grammar. So he make a mistake there, and he put lo contrario. I lost my say.
Yeah. Coherence.
Yeah. Yeah. Other mistake. I don't know. The sense of that sentence that don't have like a sense. Sentido. I don't have because he don't explain very well. So he says something like student with the at C1 English level. I don't know. I think that is not.
All right. Yeah, that's very good. And thank you for that. So you're right. Coherence. He's talking about how important is the grammar, but then he's talking about why grammar should not be as important. So that's one good point. Coherence. Then about writing. Notice how. Okay. Let me see if Alejandro got this. So about the paragraph. This is a paragraph. And so far, while we have talked about the paragraph, Alejandro, what can you tell me that he's not doing in this paragraph? Something that's lacking.
The principal idea?
The principal idea? Okay. Yeah. Can you tell me more about that?
Okay. It's about the project show that the grammar is really important when you want write a document.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's in terms of content. Now, about the paragraph. Notice how he's using one large
Okay.
one large
It's
paragraph.
it's it it's some mistake. And through this project will be shown how important. No, there aren't uh, a point, only comma. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It goes right there. So let me tell you about that. So this is one paragraph, but he's only
Yeah.
using one sentence.
Yeah.
That is
The
completely
the
wrong. We should
the
never do that.
point should be in when C1 English level make in grammar. There are comma, but I think there is a point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that depends on the style of the writers, but
Yeah.
the suggestion is to never make what happened here? A one paragraph sentence. Okay. Let me go back to that. All right. At least he should use two sentences. If he wants to make a short paragraph, do it at least two sentences. And how do you divide that? As Alejandro said, you divide with a full stop. A full stop. This is the little dot. That's how you divide sentences. Okay. So what to do? Start with subjects. This one was also mentioned by Alejandro, and is that here he says, through this project will be shown how important is the grammar. And he's not using a subject really. He's starting with a grammatical word, through this project. Instead, what he should start with should be, let me write it right here. This project will show how important is grammar. This project will show how important is grammar. Notice the difference. He says, through this project will be shown how important is the grammar. Very unnecessary. He can make it more simple by saying this project will show how important is the grammar. Now, when I say start with subjects, start always with, for example, the boy, I don't know, made his homework. If you're gonna talk about a topic, then, for example, life skills are, and then whatever you want to write. The important thing is to start with a subject, always. Now also, stop using very important. You can use words like essential, crucial, imperative, and you're gonna come up as someone who has a higher level of English. Okay, so write an introductory paragraph on the topic of life skills. Now, when I say start with subjects, it's not necessary to start with life skills are crucial because this. You can say some schools do not take as much importance in the topic of life skills because this and that, or in Colombia, this and that. The important thing is to start with the subject. And remember, make at least two sentences. Never make one sentence paragraph. Okay, guys, so you have, I'm gonna give you 6 minutes to do that. One introductory paragraph on the topic of life skills. And you can write it here on Skype. You're gonna write it here as a message. Make it at least two sentences. All right. Oh, I thought Alejandro said sent the message. So 1 minute more, guys. Okay, I got the first one. So I'm gonna read it for you, Maria. Life skills in Colombia are irrelevant at schools because the teachers never explain or prepare the students for life. Very good first sentence. Alright, now let's continue with the second one. In Colombia. Okay, in Colombia. Readily teach to cook or to do laundry. Okay, that was also a very good sentence. However, the comma there was unnecessary because you're using the preposition in. If it was Colombia, comma, readily teach to cook or to do laundry. So it was good. However, take that into consideration, the comma. And finally, teachers only care for exams and to teach things that aren't going to be necessary for the life of the students. Very good. You got the idea of how to write a proper paragraph. So very well, Maria. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. Yeah, that comma there in Colombia, no are necessary.
Yeah, but
Here.
sometimes it's better to do it than not to do it when we're not sure about it. Okay, and I also got Alejandro's. So let me read it for you, Alejandro. The life skills are important to develop some activities in the life. Furthermore, there you need to have a comma. Furthermore, comma. When you want to a job, okay, I think you had a typo there. Don't worry about that. It is necessary that you show some quality skills. So in terms of sentence, that was very good. You used a complex sentence with the use of a comma. Very good there. However, I think there's a missing verb when you want to a job. Alright, second sentence. I think very well. You're showing your opinion. The
When
people
you,
should.
sorry, when you do find a
When
job.
you want to find. Okay, so that was a typo. Don't worry about it. Second sentence. I think, comma, the people should start to improve their personal skills since their school. Very well. And finally, okay, the life skills tell about how you are going to prepare for doing on life yourself. Okay, well, in terms of sentence and paragraph, you did very well. You did 3 sentences in this paragraph. That's how you should start. But there are some issues with verbs. That's about grammar, don't worry. And we can work on that in our grammar sessions. So, very good for you too, Maria and Alejandro. Now we're gonna do the summary of this lesson. And let me go back to sharing my screen. No, started recording by mistake. Okay, it's not a problem. Or sharing. Okay. So, summary. First, you want to be a good writer? Start reading. If this is the first time you're gonna read literature, start by reading Harry Potter. It's very good. You're gonna like it. It's gonna keep you engaged on that reading. Second idea that we can take from this presentation is keep an eye on your paragraphs. Paragraphs are the most important thing about writing, even before sentences. So in the coming sessions of writing, I'm going to be talking more about sentences and how some sentences should use commas and others how use colon. I'm going to focus more on that, and that is punctuation. And finally, stop using your L1. So in the case of this example that I gave you, through this project will be shown how important is the grammar. The guy, it doesn't make a grammar mistake in the proper sense. He's just used to talking in Spanish. In Spanish, if you say, a través de este proyecto se va a mostrar qué tan importante es la gramática. Está muy bien. But if you use that type of structure in English, it's not gonna work. So that's why you should always start with a subject. And that's it for today. I appreciate your attendance, guys. And, well, I hope you have a nice day. This is my goodbye right now.
Thank you, teacher.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Okay, goodbye, Maria.
Thank you so much, teacher. Goodbye. Goodbye,
Take care.
Thanks
everyone.
for your time.
My pleasure.
Bye, Maria. Bye, teacher.